Love them. Yay.
Can you tell that this is homemade?
If you are like me and you worked so many jobs in the past, sometimes you even ask yourself, why don't I ever last in one job for so long? Why do I keep changing jobs? And you take it as something bad. I am here today to share with you my lesson and how many jobs that I've been through since I was 17. As long as I'm doing my eyelashes today, individual eyelash extension, because I am going to Vegas this weekend and I was trying to edit my 2 videos. I got so frustrated, I couldn't do it. One of the video was way too long, and as I was editing almost halfway, I was getting so frustrated and annoyed at myself. So I switched to another video and I felt the same way. I'm getting my period, so I'm pretty sure that it's my hormone kicking in, and I was like, you know what? F it. I don't care. I'm going to just get my lashes done and have a heart-to-heart talk with my audience instead. So here I am. It was so hard for me when I was starting this. I remember those days where I was frustrating and I throw my tool to the side and literally just take deep breath in because I can't control the tweezer. And could you believe somehow during pandemic, I was bored, stay at home, and I still wanted to look pretty. So I started putting my own lashes on, and it was so hard at first, but I started making it into a very therapeutic thing that I actually listen to motivation or podcast as I'm doing my lashes, and it was like a meditating time for me, and I started enjoying it. So I've been doing my own lashes ever since. It's been 3 years, 4 years now. Every time you see me, I have them on, is my own work. So I was like, okay, let me just have a talk with you today while showing you how I do it. So I don't recommend you to try do this at home. If you want to try, it is on your own risk. Please do not put the blame on me because I am a daredevil. I put contact lens on and I do it, and as I'm doing it, I dry it at the same time. It works for me. I'm not saying this is for everyone, because if you go to the professional, they'll tell you to take out your contact lenses before you go in there. But if I don't have my contact lens, there's no way I can put this on because it can burn your eyes. So just watch this as entertainment, and if you decide to follow, that's on you, okay? So I have the glue right here and I'm about to put on. This time I will do longer set of lashes because it's Vegas. Vegas, baby. Cannot go too short. But I'm going to start with size 10 first. Hopefully I won't take too long on doing this. I don't think I will need to do a lot of editing on this because it will just be as a conversation going. I was like getting so frustrated, and I start seeing videos of people doing their own individual lashes, but most of them, they don't do the individual ones. They do the cluster. And I'm like, you know what? Let me just do this. I know it's going to be hard because I'll be talking while I'm doing it, but let's try. I'm down for the challenge. Plus, it probably will distract me from trying too hard to talk. So that I want to let you know that every time I record the video, and it's only like 20 minutes, but it takes me like at least almost a whole hour to record because I'm just sitting there and just talking to myself. English is my second language, but I refuse to use teleprompter because I've done that in the past, and I just don't want to be like a news reader. It's not for me, even though I'm still learning English, but hey, you just have to try and you just have to see where your potential can take you, right? Just so you know, when I do it for my client, I use 2 tweezers. But when I do on my own, I just use my fingernail to separate the lashes. Why? It just worked for me. I mean, I had no choice but to figure out the best way, and sometimes you have to teach yourself because you can be your own teacher. And really, no one out there is teaching you how to do your own individual. So I'm still at size 10, and I just separate the lashes with my hand, like until there's one lash left, and I just put the lashes in like this, and I give it like a good 3 seconds. And of course, I remove some old ones. Oh, My light just fall right now. Oops. So now I have about possibly 5 pieces in, and I use the brush to kind of brush it in place. And I always brush them halfway through in case whichever piece is not steady enough, then I can remove it and continue on. So let's talk about the very first job. I came over when I was turning 15. I finished high school. There was a reason why I could not attend college. I am not comfortable to share about that now, but I would love to share about it in the future when I can. Take concentration, guys. This takes so much patience. My mom and I, we were really struggling. And at 16 years old, all I do is just go out and not really helping her. And in my head, she would compare me to her friend's kid doing the housework, and I'm over here going out with my friend. So she called me and she made a really big deal. Come home right now. I don't care where you at. And it was a Saturday. And I told her I'm at a friend's birthday right now. I can't just come home. And she said, I don't care. Come home right now before I kill you. So I came home and she was telling me how useless I am. I love my mom. We have a much better relationship, but I just want to tell you guys exactly what I went through. And of course, my rebellious ass, I was constantly arguing back with her and tell her how I had such a good life in Vietnam, even though I didn't have both of them around, my parents, but my grandma always take good care of me. And when I come to the US, I feel so lonely. Was not able to go to college as well, so I was resentful toward her because I would have had a much better life in Vietnam. She got so mad and she poured a cup of water in my face, and it just triggered me so much. I was not one of the nice kids who just apologized. I packed up and I said I was going to leave. And she said, where do you think you're going? And I said, I don't care. I just need to get out of this house and I need to be away from you. You're crazy. So my mom, of course, the crazy Asian mom, she's like, get down on your knees and kneel down for the whole night. Return all the favor from me giving birth to you. And then you can disappear from my life for good. I mean, most kids, when they hear this, they would probably apologize to their mom or feel bad. I didn't care. I just pack up my stuff. She's like, are you really going? Where are you going? And I'm like, I don't care. I just need to get out of here. I can't live with you. You're crazy. I had a boyfriend, but of course she didn't know. So I knew until around 11 p.m. She woke up and she said, why don't you just go to bed? And I ignored her, so I continued kneeling. And she told me that, do you hate me that much that you have to get rid of me? This was about 1 a.m. and I didn't say anything. I by then realized that she didn't want me to leave. She probably was just trying to scare me. And the next day I go and look for a job. I was working in a gambling place where I'm not supposed to be. And they didn't serve alcohol or anything, but it was a lot of, what do you call it? Keno machine, hotspot machine where people gamble. And it was these gambling machine where they just beating on the gamble. And it was just all coffee and smoothies. So it's, waitressing there. And I think I was doing that job at different places on and off for 8 years of my life. And even though I made a lot of money, I became really damaged because a lot of men, they go into these places, they are very miserable. It's almost like they can't boss their wife around, so they would go into the shop and they would all play Keno at the same time. It was like Fantasy 5 and, Super Lotto, all of those you see. And they would always aim to the last minute, go up at the same time, try to put their tickets in. And it was like 5, 6 of them at the same time. So it's very frustrating. And when they put their tickets in, they put not just one, but multiple tickets. So it's like they believe in their mind that if they do it at the last minute like that, they will have a bigger chance to win. So they corner me, and then sometime when I'm not doing it fast enough, they would say really mean things to me. And even though I made a lot of money, but honestly, it was not worth it. But I was able to come home and give my mom $1,000 a month before I was only 17. So that was a lot of money. And my mom's like, okay, good, you know. And I became very independent. I bought my first car, pay all cash for it. But soon enough, I realized that this is not the type of job for me. I decided to quit. And I saved enough money to go to LA to start this makeup school in Burbank named Mud Makeup. It was one of the movie director that he talked to me and he saw the passion in me. So he said, hey, I'm a movie director. I recommend that you should try to go to this college and I will help you get a job right after. Okay, so let's say I put in about, a lot already. Like you can see, so I'm fanning it because if I continue to do it, I probably would have red eyes by tomorrow. So I would just do this for about 100 count. I'm going to pause the video because you don't need to see this. Okay, as you see, usually I just fill up a little bit more and I'm done. But since I'm going to Vegas, I'm going to make it big. However, I'm going to do this side now and then come back there later. That was pretty fast, right? For somebody who's doing their own lashes. Okay, back to the story. There was only 2 people with A+ in the class and I was one of them. And I was so happy because I love doing makeup so much. It was like my dream. And the teacher was telling me how good and special I am and I should really continue doing it. After I graduate, I had a chance to work for a show called Die Cupid Die. And at first, the girl didn't really trust me, the actress, but they're not really actress yet. They still, nobody really know who they are. Just like me, a new makeup artist. But everybody was like, oh, she just graduated from school. I am not sure if I want her to do my makeup. And so they all avoid me and my friend. They all picked the main makeup artist who looked like Paris Hilton, by the way. One time she called in sick, so it was only me and my friend, so they have no choice to pick either one of us. Otherwise, they can do their own makeup. So the girls that picked me, they were in love with my makeup. They were asking for my information so I can do their wedding makeup. Everybody was like, really like my style and I felt so great. Oh, I found a job that I like. And some of the girl was really, really bitchy and they were saying that they love the makeup, but they turned to the director and they said otherwise. And then another thing is they only give you sometimes 10 minutes to do a person's face and you cannot take longer than that. Of course, you can still try to negotiate a little bit more, but what I've learned is just shut up and do the work. And then if you take an extra minute or 2, you just have to push it. So he would give me the face and he said, I want her in 10 minutes. And that's including all the highlight, shadow, everything else. And I'm just like, how am I going to get it done in 10 minutes? And I had to be there super early in the morning, just getting the previous lashes out, the one that is expired. But it was so fun for me. And, that's why now when I look at all the girls who are so young in their early 20s and they chase their dream, it's like a part of me is really in pain because I was not able to chase it because I was living with my friend during that time because her mom lived in LA and she gave up halfway doing the makeup because she felt like she didn't get paid enough. She'd rather go back and waitress, make more cash versus she can't stand the girls. She was like, these girls are like such bitches and I cannot stand their attitude. They're not even celebrity yet, but they act like one already. And I felt the other way around. I loved it. I didn't mind it because I just focused on my work. And she ended up go back. And I still drive to Burbank every single day. From my town is 2-hour driving. And then the show wanted to film in Australia. And unfortunately, I cannot leave the country. I was so sad because they all wanted me and I had to go back and waitress. Well, let me go back to what I've learned during the makeup days is I know how to deal with women. I know how to ease them out when they are angry. And I learned to work really well under pressure. I get to really create the arts that speak to myself. But after that, I came back and continued being a waitress, save up money again, enough to pay for cosmetology school. During school, the teacher really loved how I cut hair, and he was like, convince me, I know that you are in here to learn, and after that take over your parents' nail shop, but can you just please stay with me and learn more about cutting hair, because you are amazing at it, and I bet anything that you will be so successful. This course doesn't teach male hair cutting, but I will teach you for free if you are willing to come back after you have your cosmetologist license. Like, he loves me. And you know what's crazy? When I go and have the test, the first time I failed. For many years, my mom, I love her, but Jesus, she has put so many words in my head that whatever I do when it comes to paperwork and testing, I always fail the first time and I passed the second time. And I believed it subconsciously due to when I was a younger kid, I went to a karaoke contest. There was only 2 people that failed the contest, and I was one of them. It sunk in my mind. I really lose my confidence, even though I know I have the talent. So I failed cosmetologist the first time. Go home and cried. My mom said, that's just your fate, baby. Don't worry. You'll do better the next time. So the next time I passed, and I start working with them at the nail shop. I start to run the nail shop for them, but they cannot trust me. To be fair, if I were them, I don't know if I would trust me, because I was being run left and right by the people at the shop when they are not there. Yeah, that was literally my biggest lesson that I still continue learning until my mid-30, which is very recently. After I worked there, I become really miserable. My relationship with them got really bad. Okay, now we're going to size 15, okay? I know some of you would be like, this is enough, Delilah. What are you doing? But let me give myself the track queen look for the weekend. So I'm going on size 15 now. We were arguing constantly, and I was doing yoga every morning before I go to work, but I was still angry at them, even though they pay me really good and they literally tell everybody that I'll take over the shop. But especially my stepdad, he did not treat me like how I would want to be treated. And I was really easily shaken by the worker. If they were saying something to me like, hey, he's giving you a dirty look behind my back as I'm eating, I remember I would call him out. I would tell him to go to the back. Kind of emotional outburst, to be honest. It's not like I was communicating in a very good way. Be like, hey, what's your problem? Why you give me dirty look behind my back? Like, why you treat me like that? Is it because I'm not your real daughter? Yeah, so I said some crazy stuff. And he's like, you know, I have to be fake in front of the client all the time. Like, do you need me to be fake to you too? And he was like trying to explain his point of view, but I didn't understand for him. And then, you know, my mom is an Asian mom. Sometimes she'll say things like, you're stupid and stuff like that. And I think it was the last straw for me. I think I walked out and they felt bad. So after that, I come back to work again, but it didn't last very long. I got out of the shop. I was like 27. So I started working on my own, and I was still doing nail. And this is when I learned lashes on my own. So I did not go to any school for lashes, but I still was able to figure it out and build a good amount of clients. After that, I wanted to learn how to do eyebrow because microblading was in and everyone was talking about it. I partnered up with one of my really close friends at the time. So I want to be fair and make a point that when she asked me, I have every chance to say no, that I didn't want to partner up, but I couldn't, because I was such a people pleaser and I didn't know how to say no. And because of me being a people pleaser, our relationship ended pretty bad. We are no longer friends because when she was at work, she totally have a different version of herself. And I'm not going to go too detailed into everything because honestly, I don't want to blame her. If I was stronger and more firm with my words, our friendship would not end up that way. For some reason, I'm always scared of her vibe. She's like 5-6 years older than me. And she was already an accounting, a CPA. So she only needed this job doing eyebrow to distract herself because she's trying to get pregnant. And she was booking clients on the weekend because she can only work on the weekend. So it was already limit down my client booking time. And then she started booking client in the afternoon after 6 p.m., which I'm okay with that because I understand some people don't want to come on the weekend. But then she started booking them every single day. So it's like, okay, what about when my client get off work at 6? Where do I put them? And I was just get so mad, but I could not speak to her. It's so weird. At the end, she just dumped a bunch of paperwork on me and she said, oh, I'm out. I'm pregnant, so I don't need to work anymore. And I felt so betrayed, and I had to start learning how to do the paperwork on my own. So the reason why she was doing all the paperwork in the beginning, because it was a deal between us that I was paying more for everything else while she's taking care of ordering inventory and do all the paperwork stuff. I start working on my own again, build up clientele again, until I decided to join insurance classes. I got recruited into life insurance. I was in it for almost a year. I was making good money at first because my friends supported me. They were buying policy for me because they trust me. But after a while, it's so hard for me to approach someone, and I have so much ego, you guys. It's like I was trying to sell for my hairdresser's co-worker. He decided to talk to me and meet up with me, but then he didn't show up and he didn't text me back. And then when I come to the hair salon the next time again, he see me and he run off the other way, like he was finding the closest exit to disappear so that he doesn't have to talk to me. He didn't even want to say hi. So my ego got in the way so bad. I'm trying to offer you life insurance, which everybody need, and you treat me like I'm some kind of disease or something, and you run away from me. I didn't want to do it anymore. Actually, my husband, he was very supportive of me, so he also get into it, even though he's an engineer and is totally not his field. But he was trying to sell for his barber guy. And the barber guy met up with me. And this is the first thing the barber guy said to my husband. That's your wife? I don't know. She's too pretty to do this stuff. I don't know if I can trust her. And people go around say, you know, they don't understand about life insurance, especially the Vietnamese community. So they're like, oh, it's scams. And, you know, they just try to take your money. They're not very open-minded. And during that time, I hated the business because I could not stand in front of people. Who you see today was not who I am. I can't even communicate. When they put me in a big group of people and tell me to speak, I would hide behind my husband's back like a little child. I had no confidence in myself. You know, but I did learn a little bit of what you call social elegance because I was just a little bit of a thug during the time that I was younger. So I just didn't give a shit. Like, I was weird. I was like a pushover at the same time, but I was mean on the other way. It's like when I can't take it, I would like want to throw it down with someone. I don't know how to find a middle ground. During the days I was working with my mom, there was a girl that I think I complimented her. I said, oh, you look like Kim Kardashian. You're so pretty. And she was rolling her eyes at me. And she turned to her boyfriend and she said, if she said another word, I swear I'm going to walk out from here. And I didn't do anything wrong to her. I think I was just telling her how much the price for the nail set is. And my mom said, tell her that it's $65, but if she do it with pedicure, we will discount her $5. So I didn't finish it yet. And she cut me. She said, I thought it's supposed to be $60. And I said, oh, she wanted me to tell you that if you do the pedicure too, then it will be $60. And she just gave me the attitude after that. And I wanted to call her out. I wanted to tell her to go outside. What's up one-on-one with me? Don't judge me, guys. I came from a very hood area, so that's how I was. Like, I don't know how to be so elegant. So the person you see today talking on YouTube is no way the same person. So at the same time, when I talk to people, clients, and if they are nice to me, they always say that I'm very personal. I'm easy to talk to. And then we got close and we create friendship and people stop pushing me. So they would come in with 10 lashes left and they would expect me to charge them for a touch-up price of 2 weeks. And I couldn't say anything because when I'm having a relationship with someone, it's hard for me to open up and just speak up and stand up for myself. And I struggle with that for the longest time. I'm going to cut the story short because I'm almost done. Let's jump to, I did facial and I did eyebrow. So I was so frustrated because as somebody, they would be so professional. I would respond at 12 a.m. when client would tell me that the eyebrow is falling out, the scabs. And even though I thoroughly explained to them and they still freaking out, they would text me at 12 a.m. and my ass would text them back. And I don't have a boundary. I would just let people text me at a time and I would respond. No matter how much my partner was telling me, you need to stop responding. Like, why are you responding during this time? And I'm like, how do you tell me to ignore people when they're freaking out like that? I'm a woman, I understand. So I make a lot of excuses. And I always have an excuse for what I do because I put my ego above it all. So I want you to know that for me today to sit here and admit all that I go through and how I become, especially within the last few videos, it takes a lot because I want to say that I'm right, especially because I was blessed. I can do many things in life without putting myself through school. So I always have this thing that I know it all, and I have this really hatred relationship when it comes to people comparing me and my education. My partner's family in the beginning, they did not like me because they don't know my past. So all they can say is she didn't go to college. She didn't deserve to be in this family. And it just drives me off the wall. And then to prove to them, I was like, I will get them to like me no matter what. And I was changing myself, adapting to the point I no longer recognize myself. But thank God I passed that. Now we find a middle ground that I'm not pleasing anyone. I'm going to be who I am. I will be polite, but I'm not too friendly with anybody. I need to keep a distance and understand that, you know, my need above it all. Sorry if it sounds selfish, but this comes from a person that spent 30-something years of her life trying to please others. And it doesn't lead you to any good ending, to be honest, brutally honest with you. I haven't seen any people pleaser that live happily ever after. If they don't change who they are, they suffer with a lot of mental issue, and sometimes it can manifest to physical problem too. When you don't know how to say no and you say yes while you're lying to yourself. Let's talk about how I became a chef. I was at home during pandemic. A lot of people were posting stuff on Facebook selling food illegally at home. And I was like, oh, I love to cook. Everybody who know me know I cook really well. So I started cooking for fun. And I became not a chef first. Of course, it takes a lot. For this, I did put myself through not culinary school, but I watched a lot of video and I learned on my own. But I had a food management license. I was understanding it took months for me to pass that test, and I failed the first time too. This is before I realized that I need to stop having a certain way of believing that my subconscious mind just forever providing the same result. And I start my tasting menu. At first, I took a while though to learn about all the different cuisines food because I wanted to be on a TV show, and I didn't make it on the show, sadly. They did contact me, both of the show, but it's just more personal reason that I would love to share with you in the future. So instead of being sad, I used those skills. So I become a chef, and having my first tasting menu, and 2 years in, I was booked up and people was contacting me doing catering. And I was, being pretty well known in my area. But you know what happened? Again, I fall into that trap of people pleasing. Client would treat me so bad to the point that they don't deposit the money until the very last day. Sometimes they deposit the money and then they would reach out to me, hey, I can't make it. And I would return them the money because I would feel bad. So I ended up with empty spaces at my tasting menu. So I just invite influencer, which is fine because they help you advertise. But sometimes I would invite, I don't know, random people, my friend, and tell her, hey, you have anyone? I just need to fill up the spot. Sometimes I would do it for half price. Do you know how bad that does to you and your business? It's like you're sending out a message to the universe that you don't deserve a full price. I charge about 200. That's with tip for per tasting menu because we do 13 courses all over the world. So you have Japanese food, you have French, you have Italian, Vietnamese, Chinese, you name it, Korean, everything. But you know what happened? I look to the world. I make so much money, but I don't. I give out bonuses, crazy bonuses to all of my workers. No, for no reason. Just like, oh, I just want to encourage them because they do such a good job, and then it start becoming habit. So when I don't give them bonus, they will start giving me attitude. They're not happy. And I'm like, what am I doing wrong? Until the point I lost another friend. This is really close friend of mine, and we work in the kitchen together, and she started treating me like I'm her worker. Like I would tell her to do something and she was just like, no, I don't want to do it that way. Like I had no voice of being the head chef of my own company. Again, I'm not blaming on anybody. This is my own lesson and what I've went through. And then so I decided to go into monk mode. And with this monk mode, I wanted to do a sauce business and I wanted to work on my YouTube channel. I wanted to take off from chefing for 6 months. It didn't go through, but you know what's crazy? I've never go through so many healing journey until I'm in this monk mode. If you watch my video, all the video I made recently, you know, there are my previous channel too, but I've become the person I speak about. I keep going and I keep going stronger every time. I've seen myself improve and the people who are close to me can see how much I improve. And I am so freaking proud of myself. And at this point of my life, I genuinely believe that for me to get to the level that I want, I need to fix what's broken first. I need to understand my problem, work on my people-pleasing issue, work on how to be firm, have social elegance, be authentic, but know how to be authentic in the right way at the right place. Don't fall into toxic positivity. Don't fall into victim mindset. Learn how to deal with the up and down, anger, dysregulation. So it's like a genie. You know, the genie where you rub the genie and the smoke come out and then you start making wishes. Whatever I want, I make the video, the YouTube video, and it come true. It come to reality and it's becoming who I am. Recently, I signed up for Mel Robbins' class and I'm so excited because my next project, I will be focusing on bettering my English because I didn't have a chance to go to college. And as much as I have so much to share and so much wisdom, but I'm not confident to the point that I recycle my words a lot. And I know at this point of my life, for me to spread the message better and to get to where I want, I need to fix the foundation, which is my English. So I'm so happy right now. And you know what? I'm even happy to be here doing my lashes and talking to you because I was so frustrated editing my video because I write down, you know, long note and I try to remember everything. And, you know, I'm sure I will get it edited and push it out by next week for you guys. But I don't know. I just felt like, you know what? I need my lashes done and I'm going to talk to them, my audience, my friends, while I'm doing my lashes and just totally no keynote, nothing at all. And just going on and let them know about my life and why am I here and how am I here. So here it is. This is the final result. What do you guys think? I ended up adding some more. Like there are still more if I want to add, but I think this is enough for me. Love them. Yay. But look at that. Can you tell that this is homemade? So thank you for listening. I love you guys. Sending you so much love and encouragement. Just know that as long as you are aware of what is your problem and you are willing to work on it, anything can happen. If I can change and improve and evolve to the person I am today, you can too. Let's do this together. We are going to rock this. See you in the next video. Bye.